everyone. I prepared today a sequence for you for the hips, where we want to improve the circulation all around the hips and stretch also all four sides of the hips. So we will stretch here the thighs, the hip flexors, but also the inner lines of the legs, the groins here also, and the outer lines of the legs, the IT band, the glutes, and also the back of the legs, our hamstrings. So for this practice today, you just need one block. So take one yoga block and then sit on the block. Find a comfortable sitting position. You can sit cross-legged like this, or you place one heel here in front of the other, or maybe even in a half lotus position. Whatever feels comfortable for your knees and your ankles, and where you're able to sit with an upright spine. And then just rest your hands on your thighs, just taking a moment before we go into the stretches, before we start to move, to center ourselves. So rebound up through your core. Lengthen your spine, the crown of the head is lifting. Taking a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. With every inhale, you find more length in your spine. With every exhale, you release the tension from your body. Inhale, maybe thinking about something positive you want to invite into your life. And as you exhale, let go of whatever needs to be released. Just be here a few more breaths, arriving here in the present moment and welcoming yourself on the mat. Deep breath in. A long breath out through your mouth. Gently blink your eyes. And from here, you take your block away. Just take it to the side for later. And we will come into a child's pose with the knees wide. So all the sounds you might hear here outside are the birds on my balcony and the thundering. So it's quite stormy outside right now. So you press your hips here all the way back. The knees are wider even than your mat, and then you start to slide your hands further forward. You can be on your fingertips or flat palm, hand, shoulder width wider. And you allow the chest to come down. Just to feel a nice stretch through the inner lines of your legs and your groins. And sending your breath deeply into your hips, into your groins. Notice how you feel today in your hips, but also in your entire body. Notice, are there any areas where you feel tension, where you feel restricted, where you feel maybe pain? And if so, then send your breath to this area and allow a little bit of this tension or pain to just melt away as you breathe out. Stay here for another 5 deep breaths. Your glutes are pressing back towards your heels while you extend and lengthen your spine, allowing the chest, the heart to melt. Okay, and then slowly you start to walk your hands back towards you, and you're coming onto all fours. So your hands are shoulder width apart, your fingers are spread wide, and then from here, hips above your knees, you take your left leg back, so you extend the leg and you look forward, you arch your spine, you point your foot, and then you bend the leg, you take it out to the side, And then from here you start to make a big circle with your knees. So try to keep your arms straight, both of them, pushing the hands into the floor, making a big circle, feeling into your hip joint. Get some rotation here into your hip joint, lubricating the hip joint. And then also changing other direction. Okay, and then extend the leg one more time, look forward, lift your chest, chin away from the chest, and then exhale, bring the leg back. Now doing the same on the other side. So from here, stretch your right leg back, point your toes, lift your chest, and then bring the leg forward as you bend the knee. And then again, you draw a big circle, try to keep the arms straight. Just loosening up the hip a little bit. And then the other way, other direction. Okay, then extend the leg, look forward, point your toe, arch your spine, and then exhale, slowly bring the leg all the way back. Now from here, I turn towards you to the front. So we want to stretch here the inner thigh and the groin and also the hamstring. So have a block close by, just in case you need. So what we will do, you are on all fours, hips above the knees, and knees are hip width apart. Now you take your right leg here out towards the side, so that your knee is in line with your heel. Your toes are facing forward towards me. Now from here, your option one is that you just simply here on your hands, and you begin to reach your tailbone to the wall behind you and your heart forward. So think about extending your spines. Think about sticking your butt out to the wall behind you, widening your sit bones. And then you already should feel a little bit of a stretch here through your inner thigh and your groin. So some of you are, of course, more flexible. Then you have the option to take a block and take the forearms here down onto the block, like so. So make sure your elbows, if you do so, are underneath your shoulders and not behind, otherwise you create tension in your neck. Same thing, allow the heart to melt and gaze forward in front of you, chin away from the chest. If you're even more receptive, maybe the forearms are on the ground. If you still don't feel a stretch, and maybe some of you don't, as you're more flexible, you have the option to take this foot further forward, here the heel in line with your elbows. And then the important part to get the stretch is really you need not to really extend the spine, so avoid the hunching. Extend, think about a little cobra in your upper back, chin away from the chest, look forward. You don't have to look up necessarily, just look and gaze in front of you and reach your tailbone and your sit bones back. And now you should feel the stretch here through your inner line of the leg. Press the outer edge of the foot firmly into the ground, shoulders away from the ears. Now you can stay here for another 5 long deep breaths. Breathing into the back, inner line of the leg. Okay, slowly find your way back up onto your hands, bring your leg back, doing the same on the other side. So now you take your left leg out to the side, so option 1, maybe you're just here on your hands today. Option 2, you take your block, forearms on the block, or maybe the forearms will be all the way on the ground. But again, think the stretch is coming if you extend your spine, reach your tailbone back. And maybe some of you can bring the foot further forward, the heel in line with your elbows. But don't force yourself in any position here. Just find a workable edge where you feel a good stretch here through the inner line of your leg. Press the foot firmly into the ground. And also here we will stay for 5 long deep breaths. Shoulders away from the ears, widen your sit bones. Crown of the head reaching forward, tailbone back. Okay, great. Now from here, come back up onto your hands. And then you sit down here onto your heels. You open your knees a little bit. Now take your hands behind you, so the fingers facing towards you. If you have trouble with your wrist, you also can take your hands mat width apart with the fingers turned out. It's also a bit easier on the shoulders, okay? So from here, what you want to do, you want to scoop your tailbone. So think about a dog scooping its tail. You want to reach the tailbone forward between your knees. So lift your hips a little bit. Now reach the tailbone forward and now lift your hips up. Squeeze the muscles between the shoulder blades. Here the important action is to reach the tailbone forward, to lengthen the lower back, to get the nice stretch and lengthening here through the front of your hips, your quadriceps. Push the hands into the floor, open through the front of the chest. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, slowly coming down. We're not coming up yet. We're going a little bit deeper if you can. So next option will be, go a little bit to this side here. You can take your hands behind you. The fingers are spread wide. And slowly walk your hands away from you. So you're here. Again, you need to reach the tailbone forward. Let's say some of you have the problem that you feel some pressure in your knees or in your ankles. You can do the same by sitting on a block. So you're here. If you can go a little bit deeper, maybe you are on your forearms today, touching here your toes. And again, it's not just resting here. Lift your hips up, scoop the tailbone forward between your knees, and that's when you get the stretch here in your quadriceps. So the buttocks is lifted a little bit. You can gaze forward between your thighs here. And again, we just stay here for a few breaths. Make sure you're not sinking too much into your shoulders. Press the forearms into the ground. And feel the beautiful lengthening here of your quadriceps. Deep breathing. Last 5, 4, keep reaching the tailbone forward, lengthen the lower back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming down. And now from here you push the floor away from you, and we find our way back into downward facing dog. Take a moment to just paddle your feet a little bit, to just release. Open the back of the knees because we were kneeling for a little bit. So you just want to release, maybe moving the head from side to side, outer armpits roll down. Keep pushing the mat away from you, spine long. Now from here, you lift your right leg up and then you bend the leg into a scorpion tail. The knee is pointing up towards the sky. And your right heel is moving towards your left butt cheek. Now from here, lift the knee higher, push the floor away, bring your chest closer towards your thigh, and you press here the left heel into the ground to get a nice stretch here for your calf and your hamstring. Open through the front of your right hip, lift the knee a little bit higher. One more breath. And exhale, bring the foot down. Let's try this on the other side. Inhale, you lift the leg, you bend. And then you want to open as much as you can. Heel is dropping towards your right butt cheek. Foot is pointed. Keep your shoulders level, so left armpit more down towards the floor. Lift the left knee a little bit higher. Keep pushing the floor away. Press the right heel into the mat. Just a few more breaths here. And exhale, slowly coming down. Take the knees to the ground. From here, come onto your fingertips, and then you step here. Let's turn around, taking the block to the side here. So you step your right foot here forward between your hands. So tuck your back toes under, lift the knee for a moment, then bring it back down. Letting your palms to the ground, and then from here you sink your hips down towards the ground. Now from here you lift your right heel and you lower. You lift and you lower. You lift and you lower. You can stay here with your hands in line with your foot, Or you take your block, take it in line with the toes, so place the elbows again underneath the shoulders, not behind, to not create any tension. And then again, lift and lower the heel. But at the same time, you want to lower the chest and reach the chin away from the chest. So again, we're extending the spine, we're not hunching. Lift and lower the heel. So you can stay here, continue, or if you want to challenge yourself, lift the back knee, now off the ground, push the heel away from you, and again, keep lifting and lowering here the front heel up and down. Just really feel here into your groin, into the inner line of the leg. Maybe you also feel here a stretch through your hip flexor and your quadriceps. Good. Okay, now keep the heel down, just holding here for another 5 breaths with the knee lifted or with the knee down towards the ground. That's up to you, okay? Last 4. Reach the chin forward and melt your heart. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So from here, you stay where you are. Now, if you are on your hands, you are on your hands. That's also totally fine. Now, you want to flex the foot and you peel the sole of the foot here off the ground and you wing the leg out towards the side. Just wing a little bit out towards the side. Now, again, to really lubricate here your hip joint. Maybe you are also with the forearms on the floor, also an option. Always depends on your flexibility, on your bone structure. There's no right or wrong, just find a workable edge for you, for your body. Listen to your body. Again, you wing the leg a little bit in and out, in and out. And then come up onto your hands. Now from here, find your way back onto all fours. Come into a brief downward facing dog to just pedal your feet a little bit. And then exhale, take the knees down. Now take your left foot forward. So from here, lift your back knee, wiggle the foot a little bit further backwards. Then take the knee down. And you are on your hands, or you have your forearms here onto the block, shoulders above your elbows, or maybe the forearms are on the floor. So chest is coming down, and then you start again to lift and to lower the heel. So now it gets really stormy outside, but I have it cozy inside. I hope you as well. Maybe you want to lift the back knee off the ground. And if you do so, press the heel away from you. Lift and lower the heel just a few times. Keep the spine long. Then a lizard pose. If a lizard wants to catch a fly, it also has to look forward to stick its tongue out. Okay, then from here with the forearms on the ground, on your block, or maybe with the hands on the floor, you peel the sole of the foot off the ground and you come to the outer edge of your foot and you just wing the leg out. Again, same thing, you can have the knee for a little bit more active version lifted, or you have the back knee on the ground. Especially in the hips, we store a lot of experiences, a lot of emotions, a lot of tension. So when we work through the hips, this is a really, really nice opportunity to decongest and clear out our hips area here deep in the joints. Okay, great. Come back up. And then from here, one more time into the downward facing dog and just release. Paddle your feet a little bit. Okay, so from here, you lift your right leg up, and with an exhale, you bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Now from here, you swing your back leg all the way to the front and place the foot here on the outside of the knee. So I turn around, so here can you see me? So I mirror you. Both sit bones are on the ground. Make sure you're not sitting here on the foot. Knee is pointing up towards the ceiling and your foot here is grounded. From here, take your hands to your shin bone. Find first lengthen your spine. So with the inhale, you lengthen your spine. And then exhale, you twist over towards the right side. So option one, you just hug your leg here in. So the knee, shin bone is here in the elbow crease, and you place here your left hand behind you on the floor. Now inhale, you lengthen the spine from the tail to the crown. Exhale, you twist and look back over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder, sorry. Keep your belly soft as you breathe, naturally bringing up your spine. And then inhale, lengthen one more time. Exhale, turn your head forward. Now from here, some of you, if you're quite tight here in your hamstring, in your IT band and glutes, you might already have felt a stretch here. So if you want to go a bit deeper, or if you can, then you want to stagger maybe the knees here on top of each other. If that doesn't work, you're welcome to also just stay here, or you grab a block and you sit on a block. We're coming into our Gomukhasana legs. So when you sit up a little bit higher, it will be a bit easier, okay? So make sure there is no pain in your knees. We don't want to have any pain in your knees. We don't have any knee openers in yoga. We just have hip openers. So wiggle a little bit from right to left here. Knees are staggered on top of each other. You're not sitting on your feet. And to get the stretch, we're coming into a forward fold. So maybe you have the hands here first on the floor, or you could use your block and have here the forearms on the block, and that's where you really feel it here in your glutes. Now also when we're stretching here all around the hips and especially the glutes as well, we take a lot of tension here from our hips and the lower back as well. So you might feel a little bit more freedom in your lower back as well. Maybe forearms on the floor. So just feel the hips heavy. Send your breath into the area where you feel it most right now. Just be here for another 5 deep breaths. And then slowly find your way back up. Now from here we are unwrapping the legs and you take the other leg on top. So again, make sure you're not sitting on the foot. Knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. Hold your shin bone first and then inhale, lengthen through your spine all the way from the tail to the crown. And then exhale, we are twisting towards the right, so you can hug here the knee close towards your chest, or maybe you take the elbow, the tricep to the outside. Right hand behind you, fingertips pushing firmly into the ground to keep your spine long. So inhale, elongate, exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Also turning your head and find the wall behind you. And then slowly turn your head back towards the front. And then you stagger the knees here on top of each other. Yeah, that side might feel a bit different. We are not symmetrical. And slowly start to fold forward. Maybe you start with a block first. You also could have the block here underneath your forehead. Maybe not staying too long. It's not a yin practice, we just want to release for a couple of breaths. If you like, you can close your eyes to blend out any distractions from outside. So take the gaze more inward and just feel what's going on inside your body. What's going on in your hips right now? What do you feel? Is there a lot of tension you're holding in your hips? Maybe it helps that you breathe out through your mouth to release, if you like. Keep your face soft and your jaw relaxed. There's a connection between your jaw and your hips. So when you tense up your jaw a lot, then you tense up your hips as well. Okay, last 5 deep breaths. Okay, and very slowly come back up. Take the block aside and then you unwrap your legs and then you just lean back here into your hands like this. Open your feet mat width apart, keep your chest lifted and just drop the knees from right to left. Right. Just to release a little bit through the hips. Release any stagnated energy. And then we're lying down onto our back. And then from here, you take the right leg up into the air. You interlace the fingers behind your thigh here. So press the back of the thigh here into your hands. You want to open the back of the knee, flex the foot, heel is reaching up to stretch here now the back of the leg. So some of you, this is enough. Just stay here. If you can go a bit deeper, you lift head and shoulders, you slide your hands up towards your calf, you keep your legs straight, your foot flexed, and exhale, lean back again, so the leg is coming closer to you. Also, if you are more flexible, feel welcome to straighten the other leg along the floor. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders or your neck. Take chin slightly towards the chest, your neck long. Maybe you can take even the hands towards your ankle, but it's also good here or here, wherever you feel the stretch and able to hold this position. Keep the sacrum on the floor, so the sacrum, the pelvis is not lifting. Last 5. Try to open the back of the knee. Keep here your thigh muscle engaged. The kneecap lifting. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale. Please sit down. Now from here, start first with the hands interlaced here on the back of the thigh and just work on straightening the leg. Heel up, toes here towards your shin bone, kneecap lifting, thigh muscle engaged. And also make sure you're not shortening here to the side of the body, so pull your hip down. Some of you might just stay here. If you want to go a bit deeper, lift head and shoulders, slide your hands up and exhale. Bring the leg closer towards you as you rest head and shoulders back down to the floor. And maybe some of you straighten the other leg along the floor. But try to keep both legs active, both feet are flexed, push out through your heels. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, great. So for our final relaxation, we will do a supported bridge pose to just gently open one more time a little bit through the front of your hips. So it will look like this. You lie down here on your back, you have the block closed, your knees are bent, feet on the floor. Now inhale, you lift your hips and you slide the block underneath your hips here so that you rest your sacrum onto the block. So it's not the lower back, okay? Your sacrum is resting on the block. Now from here, stretch your right leg, stretch your left leg, take the arms over your head. So you are in a kind of a starfish position, so open your feet a bit wider maybe than your mat, open your arms, and then just close your eyes.
If it's uncomfortable with your arms over your head, you can take the arms out to the side or also next towards your body. Anytime if you feel there is a compression or some tension in your lower back, you have the option to just bend the knees and place the feet on the ground, okay? Just take here for a few breaths to gently open through the front of the hips, to open the front of the body. So just trust the weight of your pelvis down into the block, into the prop, into the floor beneath you. Relax your arms, your hands, your legs, your toes. Just feel the belly gently moving with your breath in and out. Now you let go of all effort. Just try to relax and shift from doing into being. Allow your face to soften. Body is becoming heavy. Your breath deep, calm and regular. Every exhale is an opportunity to just let go a little bit more. Last 5 deep breaths. And slowly take your arms down beside your body, bend your knees, place the feet on the ground, palms facing down, and then slowly lift your hips. Slide the block out to the side, bring your hips down, allow the spine to neutralize for a moment. And then hug the knees into your chest, head and shoulders coming up. Now bring the forehead here between the knees, round your spine. And then from here, just roll to the side and slowly find your way back up to sitting. I hope you feel a little bit more at ease in your hips now and relaxed again. Just go back maybe to your couch and just watch a movie and chill. And I'll see you next time. Namaste. Thank you.